Fans of roguelikes are being positively spoiled this year. Between The Last Fortress, Neon Ronin, Desert Revenant and many other, there are so many challenging repeatable adventures to try. This edition of Keep an Eye on It includes all those upcoming titles and more. Many of these games have demo available, and as always you can wishlist and follow the game you want. Not only does this keep you updated and its development continues, but it also helps the developers by letting their distribution platform know players are excited for their game. Let's go! Not to be confused with the mobile game Last Fortress, Bitman Studios' upcoming title is a roguelike born from your wildest Dwarf Fortress playthroughs. As a clan of dwarves in a fantasy world, you'll do as your kind have always done, digging too greedily and too deep. Excavating more of the tunnels below the fortress grants you more resources, but also awaken dangerous monsters that were better left undisturbed. With base building combat and the fortress economy to manage, we expect there will be much more depth in the Last Fortress than what's offered by the average roguelike. Players will be able to find out this fall when the game is scheduled to enter early access on Steam. If you're expecting a challenging roguelike from a game called Die Like a Hero, you're absolutely right, but that's only half the story. The title is a play on words, as the protagonist is a humble six-sided die who dreams of becoming a hero instead of just a randomization mechanic in somebody else's story. Each time a die moves, they rotate according to the direction. The number that's currently facing up is their combat power. No release date for the game has yet been announced on Steam. We've all been there. You're having great run in your favorite roguelike when suddenly you realize you misclicked or forgot about the key enemy trait. Now it's all for nothing and you're doomed to go back to the title screen and start over. Oakenfold introduced time travel to roguelike tactical battles, letting you pop back and forth in the timeline to fix your mistakes and improve your strategy. You can even bring upgraded equipment back in time with you, effectively restarting a mission with better gear. There's a demo available to try right now, and Oakenfold scheduled to launch on the 31st of October 2022 on Steam. Creationware's Desert Revenant looks like a Sandy's latest spire. The setting feels like a blend of Dungeons & Dragons, The Mummy and the 1001 Nights, packed with genies, sorcerers and other magical creatures. The battle takes place atop sand-buried pillars, lending the game some panache beyond the usual stone dungeon corridors. With multiple plot lines, upgradable cards and giant bosses, Desert Revenant could be your new favorite deck builder. While no date has been set in stone, the game is expected to enter early access in the reasonable near future and remain there for at least a year on Steam. Part puzzle game, part Zelda-like adventure, Lord Ambermaze take place in a world where time has stopped. As the wielder of the Sword of Motion, your hero can cause time to advance. When they move, so does the clock. Making your way through Lord Ambermaze's dungeon, full of traps and monsters, will require using this unique mechanic to your advantage. Lord Ambermaze is expected to release in 2022, and a playable demo is available now on Steam.
Courage and will. Politicians spin those two words as if they'd solve anything in war.
Kala Games Works' ambitious title, The Pegasus Expedition, adds a narrative element to Space 4X gameplay. Sent from the Milky Way to seek a new home for humanity in the Pegasus galaxy, you'll need to settle and develop a thriving settlement capable of sustaining the rest of Earth's population.
Production.
Pegasus naturally is filled with several other spacefaring civilizations, and you'll need to conduct carefully diplomacy to carve out a place for yourself.
Of mankind.
The dynamic galaxy and changing politics allow for multiple playthroughs. The Pegasus Expedition is a very cool concept, and we'll get to see how it turns out when it launches later this year. In the meantime, the free demo lets players get a head start on exploring the new galaxy on Steam, Epic and GOG. With the exception of many first-person shooters that take place during the conflict, World War II games often have levels of complexity that can scare off casual players. Second Front aims to offer something for everyone. It includes hundreds of historical units, weapons and vehicles, and there's enough depth under the hood to satisfy hardcore gamers. But it's also entirely possible to play the game just for the fun of rolling tanks over the European countryside. Each battle takes place over 60 turns, representing a 24-hour period, and units keep their fatigue, losses and experience between missions. Second Front also includes a full map and campaign editor, allowing players to create their own what-if scenarios. The game is expected to launch later this year on Steam. As the title suggests, Neon Ronin is a grimdark cyberpunk game with a heavily Japanese aesthetic. By enhancing your team with cybernetic augments and other gear, you'll stand a better chance of surviving the game's many battles against gangsters, cultists and psych mutants. Of the 5 playable characters, you can choose 3 to form your team for a playthrough. Neon Ronin's grid-based battles challenge players to use the terrain to their advantage. When characters fight, detailed pixelated combat animations play out like a sci-fi Fire Emblem. It's a very stylish game and is expected to launch in September on Steam.
France, year 1356. Almost 20 years.
Edward of Woodstock, commonly as the Black Prince, was the first Prince of Wales and one of England's greatest commanders during the 100 Years' Wars. Artifact Studios' Crown Wars, the Black Prince, is named for him and thrusts players into the middle of one of the most impactful conflicts of the Middle Ages.
On the move, lurking in the shadows.
However, the game isn't just about the struggle for the French throne. Players will lead their troops to expose and destroy a sinister cult, using the blast sheet to feed a malevolent entity. Information on Crown Wars is fairly scarce at the moment, but its historical setting, castle management and magical storyline make it one to watch. It's not expected to release until 2023, but you know what to do. Keep an eye on it on Steam.
You're all here.
Path of the Midnight Sun is a visual novel with JRPG battles. The branching narrative gives players important choices at nearly every turn. Yet your decisions during story sequences will have an impact on your team stats in battle. There's also traditional card advancement via skill trees, and being a visual novel, the game has romance option galore. With hand-drawn card models and professional voiceover, Path of the Midnight Sun could be one of the closest games we've seen to creating an interactive manga. Players will get a chance to try it fairly soon, as it's scheduled for Q3 2022 on Steam.
We've overcome every obstacle so far.
This video ends here. Let me know what you think about these 10 games in the comments below. Remember to hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel and also consider supporting us through all our pages. Wish you the best. Ciao!